travel. It was a visit for the dogs to the Dorset countryside, to a village near Blandford Forum, to be precise, home of Poole trainer Jo Burridge and a 30-strong team of greyhounds, two of which last Friday made the final of the Golden Crest at a home track. They were youngster Hasty Prince and the hot favourite Flashing Away, owned by leading owner Roy Felmingham. Jo's best dog today is probably You Will Call, winner of the 1998 Reading Masters and still a real favourite at the kennel.
First time round Wimbledon, he was 17 months old and he did 27.77, which was an excellent time. He's won loads of opens for me, loads of opens. Lovely dog. He's coming up for 11 years old now. I've still got him.
And You Will Call is still looking a picture of health at a ripe old age. But it's no wonder, with the great care shown to all of the dogs at Jo's kennels. A handler of both open and graded runners, Jo prefers the traditional methods of training. There's a tight-knit team keeping to a set routine. It's all helped to ensure a regular supply of winners. It all started for Jo back in the 1960s when she first took out a licence. A spell at the original Poole was followed by many years at Portsmouth before she returned to Poole when it opened in the 1990s. It's a track where Jo and her late husband Gary had plenty of success and one which she and her dogs continue to enjoy.
They run the track generally pretty well. It's well maintained. The two boys that look after the track, they do an excellent job down there. And the running surface is always kept pretty good. The dogs seem to run it pretty well.
In addition to Flashing Away, Jo had Hasty Prince in the Golden Crest final. He's a dog with a real potential over 6 bends, and that excites Jo.
I like stayers because you'll never beat until the line comes. I had Spenwood Wizard here for a little while, and we won the Pepsi Marathon at Walthamstow with her. The biggest shame was that the television trophy at Wimbledon, I really wanted to win that, and she was coming and she just failed to get up by a short head. Sexy Delight won it, and from where I was stood at the first bend, I thought she might have just got up, and some of the public was saying to me, yeah, you've won that, but the result came up that we got beaten a short head. That was quite disappointing, that one.
It's a fully functional racing kennel, of course, and a very successful one at that. But situated where it is, there's plenty of wildlife to keep the dogs interested and plenty of open spaces for exercise before heading down to the track to race. But just why some trainers choose not to travel down to the south coast and Poole puzzles Jo.
It's not a hard track to get to, so you know, why not come down? The money is as good as Poole as you would get somewhere else. All I can say to people, if you haven't been to Poole, come down and have a look.
So that's exactly what we at the Dogs did. Poole is a seaside resort on the south coast of England, just west of Bournemouth. It's a harbour town, a thriving town, a working area living off the sea. There's plenty to do from a leisure point of view. The stadium and track one of its biggest attractions. Poole Stadium is a major part of the area now and goes from strength to strength.
We opened here in 1997, which gave us this new stand and the new track, and in April last year we put in a completely new racing surface and a new configuration to cambers, a new sand, watering system, and really the whole thing's changed rather dramatically in terms of our racing surface as well.
Some tracks struggle to judge the amount of water required to keep a surface raceable and safe. Many use an old-fashioned bowser, not Poole.
We always used a bowser here, and they are heavy. I mean, that's one of the downsides to the bowser. The upside is you get a lot of water onto a track very quickly. The downside is there's a heck of a lot of weight on the wheels while it's doing it. And that was really one of the problems. We thought it was building up carcellations almost under the sand that you couldn't see of hard areas. So the less you put a Bowser on, the better. And this system went in midsummer, and that again dropped the levels of injury down even lower, so it obviously works. Keep that Bowser off the track. I mean, that's something I really think is the future. Keep them off.
Right, Simon, you're a track vet here at Poole. How do you think the improvements have helped the dogs?
Tremendously. There's been a dramatic reduction in the number of injuries, both serious injuries and the strains and sprains. And this is attributable to two major factors, really. One, the track itself has been completely upgraded and redone, and that has made it very much easier for the dogs to have an even footing all the way around. You don't want little damp parts where they lose their footing. And the other is we've got some excellent track maintenance staff who are doing an absolutely sterling job in keeping this running surface at runs normal no matter what the weather conditions, and we've really had some difficult weather variations, but the lads have done an incredible job of keeping this track surface even.
Yeah, I think the word's getting round at last that the work that was done here last April has made a big difference, because we had a reputation as a very tight track. It's actually a 400 metre circumference, so it's not the tightest in the industry by any means, but it had a reputation early on as very tight and quite fast, which it was. It was running quite fast in the early days, and I think people felt if they didn't have that profile of greyhound, perhaps a zippy railer, they didn't really bother, and that tended to permeate through the open race ranks. So it was quite a job, but certainly we've had some good press since the track's been done, and we've had trainers speaking very well of the track. And I think if we persevere, we'll come back. And as I say, you're fighting against an awful lot of open racing now.
Blues Highway represented one trainer who always supports Poole, Brian Clemenson. Brian sent down Blues Highway for the marathon, and from track 5 he started a very, very warm favourite, but he struggled to strike a blow. But the Clemenson camp are still fans of the circuit.
Well, it's a very good track. I mean, it suits the certain kinds of dogs that we have. We find that the track's well maintained and well looked after. If you've got the right kind of dog and they're putting on the races that we're looking for, then we'll certainly support it again in the future.
Clemenson's 2 in the Golden Crest final were Penny's Cadet on track 4 and Skern Castle, who ran from track 6. Both were punted anti-post, but on the night, as expected, flashing away went off favourite from track 2 with Jo Burridge's other runner, Hasty Prince, in track 1. On the night, however, the locals were out of luck.
Set ready for the Golden Crest final. £3,000 to win it. Off they go and racing away. 4 Penny's Cadet gets a flyer from the boxes ahead of 6. Skrin Castle racing in second. Oh, there's trouble on the inside as 2 flashing away, trying to barge his way through into second place. Hampered My Wonder and also Penny Sonata to head down the far side, and it's Penny's Cadet with Brian Clemenson out in front of Kennel Companion. Skern Castle back in second. Then there's a gap back to 3 My Wonder to come round the final bend, and there's no catching. Penny's Cadet is going to make all here. It's a 1-2 for Clemenson. Skern Castle in second.
All smiles then from assistant trainer Nigel Wareham and Dave Jeffrey, owner of Penny's Cadet, who collected the trophy from Trainers Association chairman John Haynes. Jeffrey was naturally delighted.
Great training by Brian Clemenson. Nigel particularly, he's put a lot of work into this dog, so we're very pleased. First time he's ever been away from Hove, so that's another exciting thing, and if he keeps going forward, we'll probably put him into the Derby just for a bit of fun, It's probably not good enough to win that, but it's nice fun, isn't it?
Well, he had a little bit of an anti-post tickle on him for this competition.
Yeah, I had a little bit at 40s and then a little bit at 10s after the quarterfinals, which was nice. So, and the prize money comes handy. Sure, my wife will want a new outfit, but I don't mind that, do I?
Those who backed Penny's Cadet, or perhaps had the Clemenson forecast with Skern Castle, there was still plenty of time to celebrate and enjoy the facilities at Poole, and we certainly did. It was an eye-opener.
People still think that we're a tiny little seaside track with a little T-bar or something. I'm not sure that's really sunk in even after 7 years. But there's a good restaurant, and there's plenty of room downstairs. Everything's nice and modern and new. There's plenty of parking space. And in the summer, I mean, what better place to come for a weekend and have a bit of dog racing as well, and out on the beach the next day.